You will become the victim of my wrath!
There is a moment in a man's life when fear stands at his door. A moment when something stronger, louder, and more terrifying than him begins to threaten everything he loves. For David, that moment came in the form of a lion. Not just a lion in the wild, but a lion that knew his home. A lion that attacked his flock. A lion that brought fear to his family. Every night, the threat grew stronger. Every night, the question became louder. Will you remain afraid, or will you rise? David was not a warrior then. He was not a king. He had no army. He had no throne. He was just a shepherd, a young man, a boy many would call weak. And the lion knew it. Fear whispered to him, "You are not strong enough." But something deeper spoke within him, something stronger than fear, faith. Because God has a strange way of choosing his servants. God does not search for the strongest men. He does not look for the most powerful. He does not begin with kings. He begins with shepherds. He begins with the overlooked, the ignored, the underestimated. God finds the weak, and then he makes them strong. While David was facing lions in secret, something else was happening in the palace. King Saul was feasting. Saul looked religious, he looked spiritual. But heaven was silent, because God is not moved by empty rituals. God is moved by obedience. Saul had the throne, the army, the crown, yet he lost the heart of God. And while Saul was being rejected, David was being prepared, not in the palace, not in the spotlight, but in the wilderness. Because before God gives a man a crown, he first tests him with lions. And that day, the shepherd who once trembled with fear stepped into the lion's cave, not because he was strong, but because he believed God was with him. And the boy who feared the lion walked out as the man who defeated it. This is the mystery of God's power. He does not use strong men. He creates strong men. He takes the fearful and turns them into warriors. He takes the rejected and turns them into kings. So if you feel weak today, if fear stands at your door, if the lions of life are threatening everything you love, remember this. Your weakness does not disqualify you. It is the very place where God begins his work, because the God who raises kings still starts with shepherds.